Let's talk about one of the most powerful and, honestly, one of the most brutal anti-war plays ever written, Bertolt Brecht's Mother Courage and Her Children. This isn't just some story about war. It's a deep, cold look at survival, at capitalism, and at what happens when the world goes completely off the rails. And that line right there, that's the entire play in a nutshell. It's a shocking idea, really. Brecht isn't just saying war is horrible. He's saying that for a lot of people, war is a market. It's a business venture where the bottom line is calculated in bullets, bread, and yes, human lives. Now, if you're picturing some stuffy, historical costume drama, you gotta think again. Modern productions of this play have this raw, almost punk rock vibe. Because Brecht's message, it isn't stuck in the past. It's a wake-up call that is still screaming at us right now. Okay, Section 1, war is a business. This is the central theme, and to really drive this point home, Brecht does something pretty clever. He uses a war from long ago to shine a really uncomfortable light on the wars of his own time. So, on the surface, the play is set during the 30 Years' War in the 1600s, a truly awful period in European history. But here's the trick. Brecht wasn't writing a history lesson. He wrote this thing in 1939, right on the edge of World War II. It was a direct warning about fascism and about how governments can turn conflict into a business. So who was this Brecht guy? Well, you have to know he was a Marxist playwright who literally had to run for his life from Nazi Germany. He believed that theater shouldn't just be a fun escape. Oh no. For him, it was a tool, a way to make people think critically about the world, and to show how a corrupt system can take our best qualities, like honesty and compassion, and turn them into a death sentence. And the perfect character to embody this deadly mix of business and battle is our main character, the one and only Mother Courage. So what's her deal? Is she some kind of hero, a villain? Nope. She's a small business owner, a battlefield entrepreneur. Her whole game plan is to follow the armies, sell them supplies, and keep her family from starving. For her, war isn't the tragedy, it's the market. It's her livelihood. And you can't talk about her without talking about her wagon. I mean, this wagon is everything. It's her store, it's her home, it's this massive physical burden she pulls across Europe, and ultimately, it's the very thing that leads to her family's destruction. This is so important. Her connection to this wagon is more than just practical. It's her whole identity. It represents how completely trapped she is in this system where war is just another way to make money. She can't imagine a life without it, so she just keeps pulling, even when it costs her the very children she claims she's doing it all for. But to really get a handle on her story, you have to understand the weird, radical way Brecht puts it on stage. Just when you start to feel sorry for her, he pulls the rug out from under you. See, Brecht doesn't actually want your sympathy. You know that feeling when you get completely lost in a story, maybe even shed a tear? Yeah. Brecht was not a fan of that. He wanted the exact opposite. He wanted his audience to stay a little bit detached, to lean back and really analyze why these terrible things are happening in the first place. And this little chart breaks it down perfectly. Traditional theater works hard to create an illusion, right? To make you forget you're watching a play. Brecht's epic theater does the opposite. It constantly reminds you, hey, this is a play. It shows you the stage lights, the set changes, all so you can stop feeling and start thinking about the big political arguments. Okay, there's a big German word for this whole idea, Verfremdungseffekt. It's usually translated as the alienation effect or the distancing effect. The whole point is to make the familiar seem strange, to take an idea we just accept as normal, like war profiteering, and present it in a way that makes you step back and say, wait a minute, that's totally bizarre. Why do we do that? So how he actually do this? Well, it was intentionally jarring. An actor might suddenly break into a song that has nothing to do with the plot, but everything to do with the theme. Or they just turn and talk directly to the audience. He'd even use signs to tell you what was going to happen in a scene before it happened. It completely kills the suspense, right? But that's the point. You stop asking what's next and start asking why this tragedy is unavoidable. And here's the crazy part. By forcing us to think instead of feel, Brecht actually makes the deaths of Mother Courage's children even more devastating because we see them not as bad luck, but as the predictable result of a brutal system. So let's take our first kid, Aleph. During the war, he's a big hero for attacking some peasants. Everyone pats him on the back. But then a short-lived peace breaks out. He does the exact same thing again, and he's immediately arrested and executed for murder. His courage suddenly becomes a crime, showing you just how insane the morality of war really is. Then you have Swiss Cheese, her honest son. He's made the paymaster for his regiment. When he's captured by the enemy, his honesty makes him refuse to tell them where the money is. Meanwhile, his mother is haggling over the price of his ransom, trying to save a few coins. She waits too long, and he's executed. His own virtue gets him killed. And finally, there's her mute daughter, Katrin. In maybe the most powerful moment of the entire play, she sees that an army is about to launch a surprise attack on a sleeping town. So she climbs onto a rooftop and starts beating a drum as loud as she can to wake everyone up. She saves them, but she gets shot and killed for it. An act of pure compassion becomes a death sentence. So here is the final brutal gut punch. After losing all 3 of her kids because of her business with the war, what happens? Does she finally see the light? Does she understand the monster she's been feeding? No. As Brecht himself said, she learns absolutely nothing. And her failure to learn is the entire reason this play is so important. So why should we care about this bleak story from 1939? Because Brecht wasn't just writing about the past. He was writing about all of us. This is the final image of the play. She's all alone. Her wagon's nearly empty. Her family is gone. And what does she do? She harnesses herself to the wagon one more time and starts pulling, yelling out to the soldiers passing by, "Take me with you." She is trapped forever in the very business of war that took everything from her. And this is where Brecht's questions start to echo in our own lives, right? The play forces us to think about the supply chains behind our phones, our clothes. It makes us ask, who is getting rich from conflicts happening thousands of miles away? It challenges us to see the mother courage in our own world, that impulse to try and profit from disaster, no matter what the human cost. For Brecht, this was what art was all about. It wasn't supposed to be a mirror, just passively reflecting the world. No, it was supposed to be a hammer, a tool you could use to smash apart assumptions and actually try to build a better reality. And that's the question he leaves us with. It's not comfortable, and it's not supposed to be. By making us analyze Mother Courage's choices instead of just crying for her, Brecht hands the responsibility to us. The story on stage is over, but the thinking, and hopefully the action, is just getting started.